The digital transformation is happening all around us. Information and communication technologies sustain life, work, health, and learning. But these are challenging times. In the COVID-19 crisis, ICTs ensure access to healthcare, education, and essential goods and services for billions of people. Radio communication, telecommunication standards, and telecommunication development all support growth, inclusiveness, sustainability, innovation, partnership. The Connect 2030 goals of the International Telecommunication Union, ITU. Today, ITU calls on its unique global public-private membership to further accelerate digital transformation in challenging times. Today, our members can adopt a digital agenda and strategy, offer government services online, strengthen cybersecurity, develop national emergency telecommunication plans, foster innovation and infrastructure, build effective partnerships. Together, we can make humanity safer, stronger, and more connected in this decade of action for sustainable development. Digital technologies are vital to fulfill the promise and build resilience against future challenges. And yet, nearly half the world's population remains unconnected. ITU fosters international cooperation and supports universal connectivity to make the transformation equitable, safe, inclusive, and affordable for all. 17th of May is World Telecommunication and Information Society Day.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jasmine from Real Life TV. Today is 17th of May 2021, and we are celebrating World Telecommunication and Information Society Day 2021. So the theme is accelerating digital transformation in challenging times. So the objective is to raise awareness of the possibilities that the use of internet and other information and communication technologies, ICT, which can bring the societies and economies as well as the ways to bridge the digital divide. So we have a very special person to discuss this topic. He is none other than Engineer Ravin Tharinda. Welcome, Engineer Ravin Tharinda.
Thank you, Jess.
He is a Deputy General Manager in SME Product Development at Sri Lanka Telecom, and he is an engineering professional who can blend the business with the technology to gain advantages of business opportunities in the existing industry to gain the maximum ROI from technology and business investments. And he has been in the telecommunication industry more than 15 years in Sri Lanka, in IT sector in Sri Lanka, with the project experience in project management, IT data center and enterprise network administration, IT system management, blockchain development, financial market analysis, and social media solutions. So welcome again, and I just wanted to say thank you for being part of this celebration today, especially to share your knowledge and experience with real life community. So Engineer Ravin, so can you explain the history and how our country has been developing this telecommunication and information technology, especially in ICT sector?
Yeah, Jasmine. With the invention of computer and the internet, the world shows a major transition in multiple facets. In the telecommunication sector worldwide, both the technology and the business focus shift from voice to data, right? the bridge IT, ICT, and rather information communication technology became much spoken and also much action term. The society to embark on the transformation, making digital a key theme. This shows a rapid stride in digitization, and also the digital transformation taking place in many areas. Enterprises, businesses, and institutions, nations, governments, economies, and individuals at their own paces started digital transformation. The current pandemic situation kind of accelerated these efforts as the need of practical, efficient, and effective digital tool became an absolute necessity. Telecommunication sector, you know, that always playing in infrastructure development. So they continue to play in the foundation of role of making sure the communication infrastructure and the capabilities are adequate to available and reliable delivery at this critical time. Sri Lanka at very high level had always been aligned to all major telecommunication breakthroughs in the world. If you take new technologies like 5G, yeah, it is here in Sri Lanka. We are testing and we are trying to phase it out. Although the country digital transformation is still, I believe, it is in initial stage. So Sri Lanka Telecom as the national service provider, national ICT solution provider, has always been in the forefront for last 163 years in aspect of supporting countries' digitalization and digitization, and also the digital transformation.
The ICT professional and engineering professional in this industry more than 15 years. So what we have seen with the comparison before this pandemic and how it has been increasing with the demand at this moment, just the comparison of the situation.
If I take my own experience, since I am in SME segment as a product development manager, so I identify three types of SMEs in this before this COVID pandemic, pre-COVID situation. The one is has already initiated something relevant to that digital transformation. Other one is that there is no digital transformation or they didn't initiate anything. And the third one is already matured. They are in the digital journey and they already transferred their business to certain level. So these three types face and still facing the COVID in three different ways. The first category improves themselves because they somewhat in the digital era and digital transformation. So they wanted to uplift from there. The second one, the people who are not at all in the digital transformation, so they also tried something to do because otherwise they want to get rid of the business, so they will purge definitely. So the third one is already matured and they are very keen in this area and they get the maximum out of this situation because they are already have tools. They know how to play in this era, right? So for example, if you take the people who are not at all in the digital transformation, they try to collaborate or that they try to co-innovate with the people who are focused in the digital transformation. For example, if you take a small restaurant, those restaurants may sometimes they may not at all having any digital tool for them to go digital, but they cannot survive, they couldn't survive in this era because they have to close their restaurants because of this lockdowns, right? So they collaborate with the food chain delivery chains like Pick.me, the Uber, like that. So they uplift their business to like next level. So what I feel that the one even lacking these things in-house also tried something to do with this situation, right? So what they need is right digital mindset and the vision to partner with other ecosystems and play uh, within the areas.
Exactly, exactly. So the first thing is to have the mindset to adopt these challenges, right? Especially in this wave COVID situations, they need these digital uh, skills to take these technologies and survive with their own businesses, and especially in the entrepreneurs and well as the SME sector. So you have mentioned that there are three categories, right? In the SME sector that you are you have identified prior to the pandemic situation, and also they are growing with this pandemic situation. So what are the challenges and the enhancements that you see with this demand and expected services in the telecommunication industry to cater this matter in Sri Lanka?
As movement restrictions, lockdowns, and curfews are imposed, most of the people had to work from home or work from anywhere, I would say. And the children had to learn from home, right? This shows major increases in network bandwidth requirements for telecommunications operators, right? Uh, According to the statistics, in Q1 2020, global internet traffic increased 30 to 60%. Right? As people move to their homes, the traffic actually decrease. In the cities and towns, you experience most of the offices are closed in the Colombo city, right? Those are those traffics transform to the suburbs or the rural areas, right? So the, they what actually happens that new facets like work from home, learn from home was addition to the bandwidth most of the countries required, right? As kids are at home, they became the dominance of the internet. In last year, March, Netflix traffic increased nearly 60% globally. You know that few years ago, from total bandwidth, 4% were uh, uh, used by Netflix, right? So it that also increased by 60% globally. Though new requirement came to the roads. So physical meetings soon became online meetings, and students to start using their online collaboration tools. This shows whopping 80% of most of online meetings and globally in last March 2020, right? These were major hits for telecom networks. For example, British Telecom daytime traffic increased to 7.5 terabit per second, which was regular used to be 5 terabit per second during the same time. This was the case for major operators. SLT2 saw the traffic increase of, I would say, 20 to 30% during that time. But the many operators, including us, this increased traffic was no issue as telecom networks migrations happens, because it always has additional capacities at that time, right? Most of the popular uh, networks like the fiber to home were used by a lot of people. The one who did not have any connection wanted to have new connection sometimes, right? They didn't want a connection earlier, but now they want. For example, I remember one of actually my village I went there were we lay down a lot of fiber network there. At that time, I have seen only 1 to 3 connectivity from one distribution point we have already saw. But within this situation, when I went to my village, I saw that almost all of those distribution points are filled, because the demand is very high. Sometimes you know that let me take my example. because I was normally working at office and nobody at home, right? We used a normal copper wire with ADSL. But after within this COVID situation, I am working from home and my two kids are learning from home. So the bandwidth requirement became very high, and we want to upgrade our connectivity from copper wire to a fiber network. So those are the demands as a telecom operators we got. And but these requirements for cloud, especially for the cloud-based services and hosting service requirement, which require larger data centers as well, right? That data center capabilities was a major issue for some of the operators, and most of the public cloud players were able to cater the hosting requirement. For SLT, we had already built around 8 terabit per second national optical backbone network covering almost 63 major cities in Sri Lanka. And we had the ADSL and GPON and LG as well. So access network together with 3 data centers. We have 3 data centers, tier 3 level data centers, and we were able to cater these new requirements without much of an issue. Even during the COVID situation, our staff together with our partners tirelessly worked to expand the access network footprint and keep the country connected.
So I believe that you are pretty sure about these requirements, and the capabilities are inbuilt already with the infrastructure to provide the facilities for the community in Sri Lanka. So because of some of the service providers that we have seen, sometimes we are so dissatisfied with the available infrastructures and the bandwidth and the capacities that they're providing, because it is not held by what they are really wanted to share with this the points, the access points. So I think that is very important to understand the requirements and the demand, and then set up your strategic plans to cater that enhancements and provide the facilities to the country, right? Because when we compare to the international level, most of the countries also have this issue. Especially we are like a developing country. We have this issue, and I just wanted to get some your view about that as well, comparing the international level as well as our country as well. So if you can give your views about this as well, how we cater these enhancements in compared to the international level.
Yeah, as I already mentioned, the knowledge, education, and skills in the technology and digital fronts, and the reluctant and the fear to try these, right? Because of the same issue is major problem for our country, I believe, especially in the semi sector, right? We have identified why we have identified this clearly, and we started to develop new products which were less complex and use that customer can easily use, right? We educate them, SME sector especially. We ran several campaigns and we asked them to take the benefit of this new opportunity. Actually, you know that even though the pandemic situation, there are opportunities. So why you can't get it? You can't grab it. So we educate them, and we introduce that easy to use product and solution to we actually help their digital transformation. Our team of experts are always prepared to help them in every step of the way to uplift their business and survive, especially some business survive because of that that we introduce those product and services to Sri Lankan community, business community.
Okay. So you have seen this, there's a knowledge gap, especially on the SME sector and technical incapability. So you have a team of experts who are supporting them to bring this knowledge and rectify this gap. and to get benefit of this digital infrastructure. So I just wanted to mention this from the ITU secretary's message, uh, saying that at the same time of the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the urgency of accelerating digital transformation and advancing the goals and targets to the Connect 2030 agenda to leave no one behind. So as a result, even as a country and institutions, we have to build our partnerships, collaborations, and bring these enhancements and technology infrastructure to reach these 2030 agenda, especially meeting the sustainable development goals. So what is your message and the recommendations to the general public to use this telecommunication and facilities during this wave COVID period?
Uh, the first thing is the connectivity, right? Having a reliable internet connection with decent bandwidth is must, as there are many cloud-based offerings using a public or private cloud service like O365, Office 365 will make you device independent, right? You don't want to worry about whether your data will be lost, because it is in the cloud, and you will not have to worry about the, the data reside in your local devices, especially, right? So and also the security, especially in this era, lot of threats we have seen that coming to local devices. So endpoint security is also important aspect, right? So I believe that with those, if you have those thing covered, your digital will be you are also uh, having good opportunity to go beyond and do your business without any issue. So other than that, I want to highlight that you should be digitally well-being uh, is also important, because I remember I trained around 300 teachers to how to do that online classes during that first wave, right? My experience was actually interesting, because those teachers, even though they are very veteran in that they are teaching subjects, but they are technoprobes in those technologies, right? They don't have early experience about online classrooms and online meetings. So I teach them how to uh, uh, teach online. I remember that at the first session, sometimes the teacher also want to come with the video, and all the students, sometimes they are about more than 100 students in one class. They all want to open their video, right? And sometimes they don't know how to behave in front of webcam, right? And it became a noises. There are a lot of echoes and lot of issues. Now you really see that kind of a situation, because everybody now well matured in online. So you know the ethics, and you know how to well-be in digital space. So it is a good sign, right? And also I recommend you to do meditations and exercise, because you are now most of the time in front of a screen. You don't want to be a screen addictive, right? You go out. If there are a lot of meetings, you can schedule it, and
Yeah.
the free time you can go out and see some faraway object, or get relax your eyes, especially. I know that otherwise it will be a big issue for your health.
Yeah, especially the our upcoming generation. So
Yeah.
they, because they need some more activities because of their age, and at the same time when they think about their online education, they should take care of their physical health as well. So so that's a good message, right? Especially for the our generation,
Yeah.
upcoming generation. And what is your strategic view of towards the goal 2030 uh, in our ICT sector in Sri Lanka?
The country needs solid, definitely solid national ICT policy, which will stand irrespective of the government changes. I remember the few years ago, some responsible agency has already drafted ICT policy. I don't know whether it is enforced in the legislations, but we need a national ICT policy. So we have multiple organizations already working on this, as I believe that ICT national policy, to draft a ICT national policy, like ICTA, TRC, they are working on that. So we need a good national policy to govern everything, while it should be a Sri Lankan model, because we know that we can get a lot of example from foreign countries like Singapore, and also you know that Estonia, that they have e-Estonia, their entire environment became e-environment, right? So we can, yes, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We can take those examples, and we can get facts in inputs from those policies, and it should be a localized one. We want to rethink about our own model, right? So it will carry out our future of our ICT in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to influence the leaders and the intended the leadership who can actually bring these best practices from other countries and the lessons learned, what they have already practiced, and implement our own protocol, localized to our country, and safeguard our upcoming generations with the safer internet and information security, the society, as well as these bringing these guidelines and have a right protocol and the framework of this ICT sector policy. So that's actually, we need to grow as a partnerships, grow as a collaborators, and in our institutions especially, and in entrepreneurs and SME sector, all general public as well. So we have to be very responsible, and when we use these facilities, especially, we have to be mindful. We have to use our facility with our limited the requirements, because sometimes the most of the people are using this digital infrastructure without any meaning, but it should be very useful for the people, especially using this for the online education and work from home. So that's why we need that kind of a digital infrastructure, because of this country's travel restrictions during this critical situation. So I think that's why we are also meeting online, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, so that's the awareness that we are bringing through this session, celebrating the World Telecommunications and Information Society Day 2020. This will be an opportunity for all our countries and the members of these countries to continue and use our telecommunication infrastructure and digital transformation by promoting national strategies and ICT development and smart policies, and encourage investments, cooperations, and partnerships. So let's celebrate it, and we hope our future will be better with this digital transformation. And if there are any consequences, we have to take the right protocols, right policy to rectify those things. And I'm really happy that you are here to share your tacit knowledge and your experience over 15 years in the telecommunication industry. So thank you for joining with us for the Real Life TV. Yeah. So we will meet again with another day, with another celebration. So until then, stay safe and watch our videos and upcoming celebrations, and learn more and grow with more knowledge. Thank you. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night.